Hey, good morning, everybody. Testing, testing, testing. Happy Friday, happy Friday. We made it. Got a little bit of a late start this morning. And looks like I'm in a trade on the NASDAQ 30 range. Gold was very volatile this morning. And my Apex account hit my profit target of 500. And I'm trading the NASDAQ 30 range on my other Apex account. And I'm just looking at the price action on it. Happy Friday, Charles. Let's just take a look at this 30 range real quick. Big move up, big move down. Crosses the 50, above the 50, below the 50. Pretty volatile. Doesn't I wouldn't really call that a trending market. Kind of a ranging market. Very low volume, which is coming up into the market open here in about 3 minutes. After that big State of the Union address last night. See what's on the calendar today. That's what the volatility this morning was due to the couple of news reports. Average hourly earnings, non-farm payroll, non-farm unemployment. All right, getting a little bit of a move here. Hopefully we I'd like to take the risk off of this trade now that we, without squeezing it too tight. So can't lose on the trade. Let's try to give it some room. Hopefully it gets some legs here and we can work it down to the downside. Just 2 minutes before the market open. Nice move down. Let's come down just a little bit more. I don't want to squeeze these too tight. I've learned my lesson. Kind of try to let them mature. If it comes back and gets us, then so be it. We're not going to... we have no risk on this trade right now. And there we go, 9:30. And we need a big burst down to the downside. All right, it stopped me out. So I'm right around break even on that. Now with the market just opening. Here are a lot of trades. Sorry about that, Pat. Let me see if I can find what you told me to do yesterday in the mixer. Settings. Sound. Volume mixer. Well, I got my volume all the way off. Jump right back in on me. Well, this isn't going to be a simple market today, I could see. I'm almost thinking with this volatility to go to that signal A. Good morning. Good morning. Let's let it play out. I think we might get a roll to the downside here. Let's stick with this signal B for now. Market's chopping all over the place, but there's about 6,200 contracts a minute. That's some sideways action. Let's stretch her out a little bit. I just want to put my moving averages on. Modified slow. Modified fast. Well, just like that, I took $500 in losers on the Apex. I'm going to hold off here just for a moment on this Apex account. And let me give it a chance to settle down just for a few moments. And let's see if we can get a direction. I'm going to go back to the Signal B AI drone SIM account and try to recoup some of that. The Signal A is up 679. 679, that's this chart right up here. This is my retirement plan strategy. It's up about 685. And when I see price start going below the 50 and above the 50, and I'm getting nice moves up and down, I kind of favor that Signal A. The Signal A just took a trade. Let's see how it works out for this one. This is our retirement plan strategy. The Laguerre popped out over that 20% line, and it took the trade long. We had a shift of momentum with my profit target right above these areas of resistance. Normally what I like to do in that situation is just put it right below it. And I want a clear shot to my profit target. And I'm thinking if this goes well, to use this strategy on my Apex. Modified fast for some reason. Auto scale display and visible. Modified slow visible. Okay, so now I can see my moving averages. Okay, that one stopped me out. So, let's see, we switch this. Yeah, I just switched it off and now it jumped in. Let's see what I'm going to just let the market run here for a few minutes. This volatility, I really like the signal A. Yeah. And down here in South Florida, another day at the beach. Spring is right around the corner. You could see here this morning on that strategy's getting torn up today, that signal B. Let's take a look at the signal A, AI drone, 30 range. This morning at on the gold chart, you could see some trades I took this morning. I took a short entry right around 8:30, bounced up on me for a stop out, and then it caught these nice long trades to hit my profit target and put me up $520. So really nice move up on gold very quickly. In a matter of a minute or two, we went from at 8:30 at 21.66, and by 8:32 we were at 21.89. 8:31, sorry, 8:32. Very quick move up, and just that fast on one of my Apex accounts, I hit my daily profit. And gold has been, with the exception of yesterday, Hey Isaac, good morning. Got some great news for you. I'm going to get together with you after the session. To answer your question, we have 15 live bots. Let me take that back. there's a total of 33. Okay. 6 of them are regular strategies that don't leverage the AI technology. 5 of them. So that leaves 28. And then there's 14 bots that are attached to drones. So 14 bots and 14 drones. And those work in tandem with one another. Our drones are kind of feeding information to the bots regarding the market conditions, what the range is, where the optimal location for our stops and profit targets would be. I think with this volatility, so the stops and profit targets dynamically adjust to the market conditions. We got a really tight range on the market today. This is a ranging market. We have to be careful in these conditions. These conditions, if it continues to chop around in a very tight range like this, we're really going to have to move our profit targets in. But let's see if the market finds a direction. It's still early. Kind of take our time here for a few minutes. The 15 range jumped in on the Russell. Yeah, we're trading the index equities, which is the futures Dow, Russell, NASDAQ, and S&P 500. And then we have crude oil and gold. So a total of 6 instruments. And then we have about 4 variations for each one of those instruments. So we're able to project, for the workspace, we like to put 5 charts up just so it's we could see everything. And I can always bring up the Dow Diamond. I have it minimized right now. The Dow is the YM, and we have strategies that run on the YM and the MYM. Let's see if I can show you the YM real quick. Here's a trade on the YM. Sometimes the YM moves really nicely. This is assuming a signal B entry. Signal B, that's a trend trading strategy. And it's running into a lot of resistance for that profit target. I'm just going to bring it beneath this pivot. I like to give it a clear shot. We do have a little bit of resistance that it's headed up into. A more conservative play would be to bring my profit target right below that pivot. But let's see if we can break through it. I could take some of the risk off of the trade now. That's right where I would have moved my profit target. Be a little more conservative. We want a clear shot, but let's see if we can break through. Give it some room. Let's move our profit target up, and we'll kind of trail it with our stop instead. Just going to bring it to the wick on the previous bar, the low. So right about here. It's trying to break through for us. And it did. Looked like it found its way to some daylight here. This could turn into a really lucrative trade. Now that resistance can become support for us. Really nice move up on the Dow. I'm curious to see if the Nasdaq's doing the same. Just bringing my stop to the low of the previous candle.
Order submitted. Order submitted.
Hey, good morning, Kent. I've been turning the bots on. I've been trying to get into gold a little early, right around 8:30. And then, I kind of like to wait until the market opens to start on the other ones. With the exception of gold, I like to trade gold pre-market. And the others, I kind of like to wait until the market opens. Oh, look at that. So we did get a big move on the Nasdaq as well. Those index equities kind of those news reports. Someone asked me yesterday about them, and I'm gonna in the future. I believe what I'll do is stand aside when those news reports first come out. Let it settle down for a few minutes. Just so we don't get whipsawed and get chopped to pieces. We can disable our strategies just for those news announcements. It's a more conservative play. If you want to be aggressive, you could certainly trade right through the news reports. I kind of err towards the conservative side, being overly cautious. And, maybe wait till 5 or 10 minutes after the market opens. It looks like now let's see if we can get up to this area of support here, resistance. Looks like now we're starting to trend to the upside. where this morning it was a little more ranging, choppy. I'm kind of holding off on my other Apex account. I'm down about $400 or $500, and I'm seeing if I can get in, find a nice, good-looking trade here to try to get in on.
Order submitted.
Our Dow Diamond took another trade, I think. No. Yeah, the YM10 range. Might go back to the signal B on the let's see, the Nasdaq 30 range. Signal B is down 715. .30 range signal A is down huge. See what's a 2-minute signal B. Two-minute signal A. Your 2-minute signal A. AI drone.
Order submitted.
Let's see what happens here. I'm curious to see if we break through this area of resistance or retraces to the downside. Got a big birthday party this weekend. Both my girls are celebrating a birthday in March. Having a big old barbecue. What my plan is if I see this NASDAQ break through, I'm going to go with the signal B. However, if it retraces and bounces off of that area and starts heading down, I would have to maybe consider a signal A. So we're just in, complete chop right now. Total consolidation, it looks like. I'm looking at the 30 range chart. It is trending up to the upside, but we're going sideways right now, trying to break through. I might just go ahead and give the signal B a shot again. Let's go to that 30 range. Oh, it's in a position, a long position now. That's the one I want to put it in. Let's close that position on the signal B AI drone. Position on the signal B AI drone. We're going to close that. And we're going to go to that strategy. And so I'm going to try to get into this move to the upside on this signal B. See if we can catch it to the upside. And I could get a little more aggressive on the signal A. If it reverses, I'll get into it short. There we go. So it jumped in long just now. So it kind of did what I was planning. Now we just need it to cooperate with us. I want to get the risk off the trade. I just need some room here. I need a little wiggle room. A little breathing room. It's trying to give it to me. You got good volume. At 2,500, just under 2,500 contracts a minute.
Order submitted. Order submitted. Order submitted.
There we go. Come on up. Take the risk off the trade now. Really need this to get some legs and put me on the board here. And give it plenty of room though. It's chopping around pretty good on us. Bouncing off that 15. Oh, we found ourselves in a nail biter here.
Order submitted.
Okay. Okay. There we go. Let me take a little more risk off of this trade here. And give it plenty of room. I'm going to try to ride this on. Try to milk this cow here.
Order submitted.
Daniel, we're going to try to milk this cow. Come on. Yeah, I could show you that. Somebody asked me about back testing. Might have squeezed this one a little too tight. Try to get some more room here. Thinking about backing off of it. We need a little more wiggle room here. Keep going up.
Order submitted.
Been bouncing off that 15 and this whole move up. Uh-oh. Come on. There we go. Come on. Okay, it stopped me out there. Almost got me back to break even. On that Apex account, I was down about 500 on it, 500 or 600. So, got me back to about break even. And I'm just going to leave it on that signal B for now. Getting a retracement back to the 50.
Order submitted.
Finley asked me about back testing. And let's see what he wrote. At some point, when we get back, can you show review how to back test? It returns no data. The reason why it's returning no data, if I go to my strategy analyzer, what you would need to do is on your strategy analyzer, if you're going to run a back test of our AI auto trader, you would first load the template. Let's load the gold 15 range signal B bot. AI drone. So these are all my drones for some reason. Okay. So once it loads, once you load your template, you would have to check off this box, Finley. I think that's why you're getting no data. This little box that says calculate historical. You want to check that off. And then you would come down. I'm going to raise my profit limit. This is taking, I selected the signal B entry. And then we would need to look and see on that indicator what the conditions are. And we would need to check off the conditions here. Look at that. That trade now is... That's the one thing about dragging my stop. I'm looking at the NASDAQ trade now. I'm wondering, had I not trailed that trade? That's okay. I was down 500 or 600, and I wanted to get it back. And it's just more conservative. In hindsight, and hindsight is always 20/20. That's the thing with trading. Hindsight is always 20/20. We see now, had I not trailed the trade and maybe left the stop alone, I'd still be in the move. But who knows? It could have went straight down. So I'm trying to think off the top of my head what the conditions are on the signal B entry. I think it's just the clear pivots and clear volume zone. And our first target on it, let's move it into 60 ticks. And I'll get a clear first target value of 60. And this is one contract with a 15 tick stop loss. And I'm going for a 60 tick profit target. And I'm going to put it on gold. And I'm going to run it for March. The 1st to the 8th. So now if I run this back test, I've selected the entry. You would need to select one of the entries, the signal A or the signal B. The conditions that you could see that within our settings. And you make sure that you have that calculate historical checked right here. Let's run this and see what happens. So now you see here on my results, in March it took 16 trades from the 1st to the 8th, and it's up $1,750. So if I go to my actual performance of the actual trades, we'll compare the two. The gold signal B AI bot. This is actually what actual trades versus a back test. 1750, 1910. Not too far off. Then I can play around with my inputs to see if I can get my results better. Maybe if I increase my profit target. And I think it comes out of the box at 90. Let's run it at 90. It comes down. So I was better off at 60. So I think that's the step that you are missing, Finley, is you want to make sure that you check that calculate historical when you load the template. And you'll have to select whether you want a signal A or a signal B entry. Out of curiosity, let's see the difference on the signal A entry on this with clear pivots, clear volume zone. And signal A didn't do as well on a back test. We want to clear first target. What we found, because we've really looked at this extensively, is the back test is not going to be as reliable as forward testing. What I would recommend doing is downloading a bunch of historical data and play the replay, connect to your replay connection, and in your strategy, put the in your account, put that replay connection in, and you can run it at 10 or 50 times speed, even 100 times speed, and that is, you'd be surprised if you put your actual trades that you took during the session and do a replay of the session and speed it up, you get almost the same exact entries. It's much more accurate than the back test. Hey, good morning, Kim. We were just showing the back test, a strategy analyzer. These are my open positions here. YM. So we got that really nice trade on the Nasdaq long. I was fortunate enough to get a couple nice trades on gold. So I think the play here is just to continue in this. Maybe try to jump into a signal A long now. I know. Let's try this signal A AI drone. I'm going to pop it in my. No, let's just leave it there because I'm on the I'm on the 30 range. Yeah, the Ninja is just a very powerful platform. It has a lot of features. I wish that back testing was a little more accurate because it's such a great tool. It's awesome, but it's just not that reliable. That signal A might be the play right now. Let me go back. Let me keep my... See, it jumped into that trade. I get a big move down, I'm going to be sick. I'm going to... the AI drone. I kind of like that position. So I'm going to look for that NASDAQ AI drone position that I'm in. Signal AI drone. And close it. Well, I'm trying to find another trade on my Apex. The YM might be the one to take. The YM is trading very nicely today. Another really nice feature that I'll show you is we have a proprietary momentum-based trailing stop where we could tie our stop instead of dragging it like I was dragging it. I can tie our stop to our 15 EMA. If I make my 15 visible, we call it our modified fast. When I make my modified fast visible, and I'm going to put both of my moving averages for this. If you see on the bottom left of my chart, there's a little red box. That red box, what that is it's the color of my 15 EMA. My 15 EMA is this dotted line right here. Right here, it's red, and it's a really good indication of momentum. And the 15 is just crossing the 50 right now, and they're both red, which is a good as far as market structure goes. That's that would be ideal for a short trade when you get that 15 crossing your 50. So the 15 is red. And that box in the bottom left of my chart is red. Well, we have a really nice feature in our strategy that allows you to tie your stop to that 15 EMA, the color of it. So it would actually keep you wouldn't have a stop on the trade. Well, you'd have a stop, but it wouldn't be a defined set value. It would be tied to the color of the 15 EMA. And as long as it continues red to the downside, as long as that 15 EMA stays red, then it will keep you in the trade. However, if it turns to yellow or green and momentum switches and starts going up, it'll take you out of the trade. So it takes the discretion out of your trading. Some people can't be in front of their charts. So I'll see if let's see if this if I can move this down some or stretch it out a little so you could see it a little better. The color of that 15 EMA, and you could see where it would take you out of the trade. A color change. Your question, Prudent. Can that feature be used to initiate a trade? There's two things that will initiate a trade. We have two triggers. The two triggers are the market internals, which are these arrows that you see. The software is picking up a disparity between uptick and downtick. The premise of our software is to follow in the trend that institutions are creating. One of the ways we do that is we look for a disparity between uptick and downtick. These green arrows right here are telling us that institutional money, because there's a disparity in uptick versus downtick, is pushing the price of the Dow Diamond, the Dow on this one, higher, up. That's one of the triggers. The other trigger is when my RSI line, let me put in my default settings here. This RSI line is our second entry. We call our signal A entry. When the RSI line in my Laguerre oscillator crosses the 80% line, it's going to jump into a trade short. And it's going to continue in that trade. If it crosses the 20 line, it'll enter the trade to the long side and go long. So this signal A right here, you could see it would have jumped in right when it crossed, and we have this cross that projects on the chart. That would have signified an entry to the long side if I have my signal A. So to answer your question, the short version is no. However, there's a second part to the answer. We can use that as a condition along with one of those triggers. We can use a 15 EMA cross as a condition to jump into a trade. In my strategy parameters, one of the conditions specifically relates to the cross of the 15 and the 50 in order for it to take a short or a long trade. We refer to that part of our methodology with trading in the direction of institutional money is we respect market structure, where the 15 on a long trade would have to be green and above the 15. And above the 50, I'm sorry. The 15 and the 50, the 15 is my dotted line, the 50 is my solid line. We do have a condition within the strategy parameters that will only take a trade, a long trade, if the 15 is a certain color. And you can make it green, and you can make it be above the 50. So those are definitely conditions that are part of our strategy. I'll show them to you right after this trade. I was hoping that we could see the color change of this 15 EMA. Just out of curiosity, let's see what the NASDAQ here is. Still hasn't retraced. We could take our risk off the table on this one.
submitted.
It's like Dave. I always talk about David Wise because he's a really knowledgeable trader. If you have an opportunity this Saturday, David's going to be doing a webinar this Saturday on options. And you hear options and you get a little nervous because you just think of having the potential to blow your whole account. But that's actually not the case. If you're trading calls and puts, you can only lose the amount of the position. So there are some option configurations that he doesn't really take that do have a significant more amount of risk. But what I was getting at is this weekend on Saturday at 1 o'clock, he's going to be doing a webinar, and if really any skill level or any experience level that you're at with options, I guarantee you, even if you're an experienced options trader, you're going to get something out of this. If you're a newbie at options and you don't know much about it, like me, I consider myself a newbie at options because what he's going to be going into are the basics. The strike price, which expiration, the premiums on the trade, what it means, intrinsic versus extrinsic value, the basic Greeks. He's going to kind of do a beginner's class for people like myself that want to learn more and have a more full understanding of it. He's doing it this Saturday at 1 o'clock. And I'm going to put a registration link in the chat box here. If you have a chance to check him out, man, this guy's, everything he does is based on the technicals. He makes no emotional decisions whatsoever. So when I was talking about, putting my stop on the 15 EMA, that's something that he would do. He doesn't want to base it on what he thinks the market's going to do. He wants to base it on when the momentum changes, and momentum shifts and momentum wanes. Take the trade out. That workshop is going to be this Saturday
Order submitted.
at 1 p.m.
Order submitted.
Hey, Pete. That's my buddy.
Order submitted.
Pete F. If you make the 15 EMA visible, it will automatically stop when the color changes. I can configure it to do that. Pete. Currently, it's not set up on this strategy that I'm trading now, but in a second I'll show you if you'd like, or I can get together later with you and show you how it works. I'm going to let this trade, hopefully continue down to the downside. Oh, Pat. I'm sorry, Pat. Good to see you in the room, my friend. Pat F., yes. I hope that my entries aren't bugging you today. All right, Let's take a look and see what's going on. Yep. All right, so the apex jumped in into this short move.
Order submitted.
On my apex account, and man, it started beautiful, and now it's retracing on us. Just a tick or two away from my stop. Come on, roll. Go ahead. Well, I thought maybe we might just be okay on that for a second. Here we go. Come on. Come on now. Okay. I'm going to take some of this risk off here. Really trying to get green on this account. My goal is 500 on this Apex account. And today's been a challenge to get there, I'll tell you. Nothing easy.
Order submitted.
It is. My daily goal is about 500. I got it on one account. I'm trying to get it on the second one today.
Order submitted.
Okay. There we go. Come on. Squeeze the damn trade. Come on.
Order submitted.
All right, that one came back and got us. Yeah, it did jump out of there pretty nicely. Yeah, that's right, Isaac. And I also wanted to mention that today at 1 o'clock today, I had some really great questions about back testing, and we talked about the momentum-based trailing stop and some of the different features of our AI auto trader. Well, today at 1 o'clock, you know, uh, I'm going to do a presentation and go over all the features and some of the results of all of our different strategies, and go into a little more depth of how the system works. And that's going to be today at 1 o'clock. And I'm also going to put a registration link to that in the chat box if you'd like to come join me. Well, I had a feeling it was going to do that. Yeah, this is a scary one here. That big move down. Yeah. I had a feeling it was going to continue down. Well, it's right about my loss limit. I like to live to fight another day, and really not a pain freak. So I took a $550 drawdown on one account, and I'm up about $520 on the other. So I'm gonna call it quits on this and stick to my rules. It's this one here. We'll put it back on. Oh, that's not the one I was on. Oh.
Order submitted.
So I always want to put them back on the SIM account that's associated with this strategy, because I like to accumulate my data, and doing a data analysis on these. The more data that you have, the more useful it becomes. You can go back and you could see how each strategy performs over a defined period of time, and then you can kind of narrow it down to what time of the day it does the best, and how much heat you took on each trade, what the maximum forward excursion was, and just get a little more knowledge, a little more clarity as to maybe what type of adjustments we can make to make it a more profitable strategy. So I wanted to share today's registration link for our webinar today at 1 o'clock. And it will be recorded, Kent. In fact, if you register, if you can't make it live today, it's today at 1 o'clock. If you can't make it live today at 1 o'clock, still register with the link that I'm putting in the chat box now, and we'll automatically send you a recording. And if I didn't have time to go over your question on the the strategy parameters or any type of technical questions, I will this afternoon.
Order submitted. Order submitted. submitted.
So we're back in on the Dow. That Dow Diamond. Let's take a look at the trade. The Dow's been trading pretty well today. The Dow Diamond. Here it is.
Order submitted.
Now you can see here this was a signal A entry. The RSI line of my oscillator crossed and it popped into the trade long. And it caught that reversal to the upside. I'm going to open up one of the strategies here in just a minute, right after this trade. I'm going to open up the parameters of the strategy and just show you briefly the different features that it has. If you're a prop trader, we know that we can't take drawdowns, and we've implemented some ways that you can be ultra conservative with these strategies. If you're familiar with the prop trading, you know that you have a trailing drawdown. Part of the evaluation is we can't lose 20 on a $50,000 account. You can't lose 2,500 before you make 3,000. But the thing you have to be really careful about is as you gain equity in the account. Like let's just say you start with 50,000 account, and you make $100. So now your account balance is 50,100. So initially you can only draw down to 47,500, a $2,500 drawdown. But once you've made that $100 on that first day, and your account balance is now 50,100. Now you can only draw down to 47,600. So your trailing threshold, your trailing drawdown moves up 100. So if you make 1,000 and your account balance is 51,000, well, now you can only draw down to 48,500 instead of 47,500. So you have that trailing drawdown, that threshold. Well, we have in our strategy parameters the same feature. So if you go up 500 and you've defined that in your risk that you only want to take a $500 drawdown, well, if you go up 500, now if your account goes to zero, if your account goes to break even, it's going to end the session for the day. Okay, it won't let you lose back more than $500 from your high water mark. So it kind of works the same exact way that the Apex works. Let's put this back on the
Order submitted.
another nice trade on the Dow. The Dow might have been the strategy to go with today, I'll tell you. Very slow and methodical. Took care of business. You can see the really nice entries it took. If I squeeze it just a little bit. Got in a long position here. Hit the target. Got in a short here. Got stopped out. Short entry. Short target. It's a nice trade. Took a long entry right here. Alright, since this is a slow moving trade, what I'll do is I'll take one of these strategies, and if I open it up to the parameters, I can show you real briefly what I was referring to. The global parameters within the strategy, those are the indicators that we're leveraging. The indicators all come part of the AI Auto Trader. So it does include a discretionary component, whereas it has all of the chart templates with all of the indicators that the system leverages. And under our global parameters, you could see that they're fully adjustable. All of the inputs for all of the indicators can be traded on any time frame. Any time frame. If you're a scalper, if you're a swing trader, you could set these inputs to trade any time frame. Okay. We have our start and end time, when the session starts and ends. We have a entry on same bar, where when all the conditions are met, intra-candle, it's going to fire off a trade instantly. Whereas if it's unchecked, we need a confirmation candle, a second candle, to also meet all the conditions. So the entry on the same bar is a little more aggressive of a strategy. And then we have a reverse trade. Reverse trade, we like to use that if we have a strategy that just can't win a trade. Whatever it does, I kind of like to refer to it as the Jerry Costanza of Seinfeld. The guy couldn't do nothing right. So he figured if he just did everything opposite, he'd get everything right. Well, that's kind of how this strategy works. If you check off that reverse trade, it's going to, when everything lines up to the long side, it's going to go short. It's going to do exactly the opposite of what we would normally do. Then we have parameters where if the market's just trending to the upside and we just want to take long trades, we don't want that thing to jump in short. We can disable the long trades or short trades and prevent it from going short or long. These next inputs are to tie it together with a drone. And then we have our risk management. This is what I was telling you about. We could set our profit limit and our stop limit for the session. If we only want to risk 500, but we'd like to make 1,500, once it reaches those values, it'll stop trading. Now, I can enable this trail session loss limit, and that will do just what your funded account or your prop account does. It will trail the session loss limit. And I explained just a few minutes ago what that means. If my session loss limit is 500 and my P&L I go up 500, well, now I can only go down to break even. And once I get to break even, I've lost that $500 of profit, so it hits my session loss limit of 500. Okay, so it prevents you from giving back all your profits. Then we can narrow down the days of the week we want the strategy to trade. Then we have our two triggers, our signal A and our signal B, that I briefly described earlier. And then we have our trade management parameters, where we've really added some really nice features into it. We can trail the trade. We could set a value to how far we want to trail the trade by, or once price gets to a certain point, when to start trailing it. On a one contract strategy, it's really nice to also have this break-even plus or minus feature. So if I'm going for 200 ticks on the NASDAQ, and it goes 100 ticks, I can move my stop to break-even plus 20, or plus 40, or plus 50. So right when the trade gets to 100 ticks, the stop is going to lock in 50 ticks of profit for me. And it'll still be in the trade, and you have the potential to go the full 200 ticks. And then we have the data series, and of course the time frames that we want to trade it on. We could trade it on any time frame that we want to trade. So it's got some really great features.
Order submitted.
A week-long fishing trip. Here's the Dow. I'll tell you, if this Dow takes another winter, I'm going to really be kicking myself. So that it jumped in. The Laguerre, now it could have gotten faked out on this one. The Laguerre must have popped through that 2080 line to go short. Oh, you know what? I believe this strategy has both entries enabled. This strategy actually has signal A and signal B entry. No, it went short. So it would have had to have been a signal A entry. Yeah, so this is a signal A entry. The signal A being my Laguerre crossed through the RSI line, crossed through the 80% line. So it catches reversals.
Order submitted. submitted.
Yeah, Friday. Fridays can be a little difficult. Okay, Isaac. Yeah, I want to get together with you today. Got some real exciting news for you. Yes, sir. We're going to go in. What we'll do is we'll do a weekly review of the top strategies for the week and kind of a low volume, slow mover on that Dow Diamond.
Order submitted.
Oh, you're welcome, Ken. We're just getting ready to wrap up. I'm just going to go over the top strategies for the week. I hope you have a great weekend, everybody. Bear with me. I'm just putting together a
Order submitted.
Dow Diamond YM. YM's this top strategy of the day is the Dow. The Dow is the top performer of the day. The Dow was the instrument to trade today. This is the Dow Diamond. You could see the Dow Diamond
Order submitted.
All right, so let's go over the three top ones for the week. The Dow Diamond finished this week. That was, Dow Diamond. 1167 for the Dow Diamond. Let me make sure I don't have any of these others checked. Okay. So the Dow Diamond, $1,167 this week.
Order submitted.
And we have the 30 range, Signal B AI bot, finished the week up $1,145. And I had, let me see, where's this other one? And then gold. Gold was my number 3. Gold finished up about $942 for the week. So gold, the NASDAQ, and the Dow, 1, 2, and 3, combined about $3,000 between the 3 strategies. So those were the top 3. Don't forget today, 1 o'clock. Come join me and learn more about the AI Auto Trader. And if you had any questions, I'll be able to answer all the questions in there live. Listen, I wish everybody a really happy weekend. God bless you and your family. I hope you're able to spend quality time with the people that you care about the most. God bless you. Have a great weekend, everybody. Bye-bye.